what's up everybody? I'm on 3rd Avenue. I haven't been out over 3rd in a couple days. Heading up 3rd Avenue to Harlem. Actually, I have a service call in Harlem, which I normally don't have. Normally my service calls are in Midtown, Business District, all that. And today I got a service call up in Harlem. You know, I finally got these bars straightened out, and you know, I probably should have known better, because basically with forks, they don't really need to be that tight with the clamp, you know, with the triple tree clamps on them, on the side here. You see the triple tree clamp, and then you got your bolt up top here, but you got your pinch bolt down by the axle there. You want to loosen all that up and then just jump on the bike, which I did, but it kept like not going straight for me. So what it was, I had to release this top bolt here underneath the bars, the top bolt, not the bolt on the top, you know, just the very top bolt, so you can release the pressure between the center, the triple tree, the bottom clamps to the forks, and the top, because basically something must have got tweaked when that taxi cut me off, and nothing bent or anything, but the problem is it just wouldn't align. Like every time I would get it straight, the wheel, it would go right back again to being fucked up. So I think like I started tricking myself, you know, cranking down the clamps a little bit more to try to hold it straight when I use my knee to put the wheel between my legs, try to hold it straight and then clamp down. But that's actually the wrong way to do it. Like, and you know it's wrong, because shocks, you know, all you have to do is with forks is release the pressure on them and they'll straighten themselves out, you know. And if they don't straighten out from that, you just bounce up and down on them, and then you take the wheel off the ground and you tighten it up. That's about it, you know. That's all you got to do. It's not, there's no science to it. It's just basically pretty simple. But the problem was I kept thinking too much into it, and obviously the reason why it kept going back to what was wrong was because the upper and lower were tweaked. You know, there was pressure against the forks to push them in the wrong direction. The wheel wasn't straightening out. Finally got it though, but it took a while of me fucking with it, you know, to get it right. And I never really had it like, that was my first time to have like that, because I've laid my KLR down many times. Same situation, a taxi cut me off, actually right here on 3rd Avenue, and I laid it down because I had it was raining, and I just laid the bike down, and then the bike hit a curb. Nothing happened to me, but the bike, the front forks got all tweaked out, but nothing happened to the triple tree. Like, it didn't get tweaked out, just the forks got a little twisted. So I loosened them up, and then just jump on the bike while you're holding the brake. You just smash the front end down, up and down until the forks steady themselves, and then you clamp everything down according to the manual specs for torque specs, you know, because some bikes are probably more susceptible to problems if you over crank your shock, you know, if you crank down on your shock tubes too much. These shock tubes, like, you know, if you deform it in any way, then inside the shock, the plunger won't go up and down properly. You'll get problems with your shock. So that's why they have torque specs on that. But I'd be lying to you if I hadn't messed around with that shit in the field, you know. With no torque, I'd be on the side of the road and I'd tweak my bars, you know. And I just crank it down with a socket. You know, I I've done that. There's nothing you can do about that. You got to do what you got to do. I never really worried about it, but some guys, they get crazy about it. You know, they want to know exactly the torque specs on their manual. If they're afraid, like I had one friend who went, he torqued his things, he torqued them down by accident, over torqued them, and then he got so paranoid that he took the shock tube off the bike, and then he put tie wrap around it and slid it down to make sure there was no gap. You know, like he was really like getting OCD on it, you know. And I don't think too much about that, but that's actually, you know, if you're gonna follow the manual's torque specs, you're not gonna fuck shit up, like, you know, because some bolts have very little torque at all, like the pinch bolts that hold your axle. Those are 12 pounds, like that's almost just a little bit more than hand tight, which is crazy. So, and then if you look at the bolts on the pinch bolt, they're bolts that have like a, you know, that blue plastic on them that holds them in place so that they don't come off. You know, they have the preventative accidental loosening, like it's, I forget what they call that, but the bolt, you know, has like a built-in Loctite on it, and it's a safety bolt that will not come off easily. Like you have to want it to come off. Vibrate it's all the way off. So yeah. So anyway, but you know, if you're on the side of the road and you know, like a taxi cuts you off in the rain and your bars are tweaked, and you're on 3rd Avenue in Manhattan, which would happen to me with the KLR. I mean, you're not going to call like a tow truck to tow you. It's going to be like super expensive, and AAA will not pick up in Manhattan. So you're not going to, even if you have AAA on your bike, you're not going to, nobody's going to come. So basically, it's up to you to get that shit running, or put that bike on the side and lock it up onto a lamppost or something and come back the next day and figure it out, you know, with a friend, or maybe get like a Cycle Gear up on 127th Street. They do pickups, but not emergency. They'll pick up your bike and bring it uptown, as long as you service it. But if you're doing like a warranty service, you know, for a Honda or something, they're not going to do it. Yeah, I pull over and show you guys, but I think I'll do a video on it, like, you know, these triple tree and how to straighten them out. It's actually not that hard, but if you overcomplicate it and fuck shit up, it will be very complicated. And normally, you never have to undo this top bolt on top, underneath your handlebars, the bolt that holds the triple tree to your frame, your fork tube, your head, steering head. Normally you don't have to mess with that, like this bolt here. That bolt you normally don't have to mess with. These are the bolts you loosen. Don't loosen both of these though. This top clamp on your triple T you don't loosen. Just loosen the bottom one here, and then you loosen your pinch bolts, and then you just bounce off up and down like this, up and down on the front end. Until you get it straight. Everything will fall into place. But if it doesn't fall into place, then what you need to do is you need to take apart, you need to undo this top bolt on the steering to free up pressure between your lower and upper triple tree clamps. you know, the clamps that clamp around your fork tubes. If you can't get it right and it keeps popping back and forth, which is what was happening to me, and I was just fucking around, you know, trying to get it right, and I was holding it with my knees and then clamping, and it was just every single time the bike would hit a pothole, it would just pop back again out of alignment because it was streaked already. Now, when you encounter that, you don't mess with it, don't fuck with it anymore. You're gonna have to undo that top bolt and free up pressure on everything and get it straight by bouncing it around. You know, but eventually, bouncing on the front end, bouncing up and down on the front wheel, and compressing your suspension will eventually bring it all straight, because the shocks, they're meant to kind of like true themselves. You know, they're straight, they're machine straight, so you're not gonna have a problem getting everything straight as long as you find out what it is that's holding your shock pointing it. It could just be as simple as you had like a wreck and your wheel is just pointing in the wrong direction. Boom, all you got to do is undo all your lower shock tube clamps, you know, in triple tree, that lower one, you undo that and then bounce on it and undo your pinch bolts down on your axle. And if you can undo your axle a little bit, you just want to undo it, but don't forget to tighten everything down again. Obviously you can do this on the side of the road, but you need to be sure like you're not over torquing. Like when I stop at the gas station, I'll show you what I mean. I need to stop at the gas station. Actually, I'll probably stop over on First Ave. I'll go over to First Ave and stop at the gas station. Or actually, there's one right up here. When I stop, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But you can see, like, when you look down on your bike, if you're looking straight while you're driving like this, and if you look and the handlebars look crooked, then it is crooked, you know. But you can also look at the front, when you look at the front wheel, if it doesn't line up. Like when I had that wreck with that taxi, my front fender got all fouled up. So I went ahead and put a new front fender on. I put a poly sport on. It's nice. I like it. I like the design. It's decent. It's got like a black color on the back, and it mounted up perfectly. There was even like a spacer for my cables that come out of my headlight and all my controls. There's a harness, a wiring harness that comes up to the back of the right here. So this wiring harness right here goes underneath the fender, and there's a spacer with the Polysport kit. It's so terrible for me showing you guys this at night. I just happened to mention it in my video about the situation with the front bars, because I just fixed them yesterday. You know, I finally got so tired of messing with the front bars, trying to get them right, because every time I'd straighten them out and then I go down the road, they'd be like this, like it was like twisted, you know, because the triple tree was out of whack. So I just figured I'd give anybody advice on that. Like, if you have a problem with your front forks not aligning, you need to loosen pressure on your upper or lower triple tree from the, you know, from underneath the handlebars. Gotta get gas. whatever, but you know, anything you guess. Alright, here's what I was saying about the triple tree. When you loosen this clamp, you gotta loosen this one. Loosen this one. Don't loosen your top one. And then you loosen your down here your pinch bolt.
Can I pump your gas?
Oh no, it's alright. Thanks, man.
Hey, nice motorcycle.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm not gonna sit here.
Oh no, it's good, man. I'm good. Thanks, man.
Would you help me out?
Oh no, sorry, man. I don't have any change on.
Oh, man.
So yeah, this pinch bolt you gotta loosen up, and you gotta loosen these triple three clamps for to fork tubes. These bottom one. Do not loosen this one. Your fork tubes might fly up through the triple tree. The bike will drop in height. But anyway, you bounce off of it. If it doesn't straighten out the front wheel. Now this is a brand new fender, so it lines up with the front. But if you bounce up and down and it doesn't straighten out, then you're gonna have to loosen this bolt right here. And then once you loosen that, it'll relieve pressure on this upper and lower, and then you can get it to straighten out. But you only have to do that if that method of going up and down on the shocks does not straighten the wheel out. Yeah, that's straight. But if your fender is bent, you're not going to be able to line it up with this. See, I have this lined up here, but that fender is straight. That's a Polysport fender. But anyway, I'll just end this video now. I'm up in Harlem, so I don't want to be talking too long up here. All right, everybody.